Okay, I started recording. You're good to go.
All right, good. Somebody got their background noise on. They need to mute that. All right, good evening to everybody again. I want to start off right here today on this final day of this set here, April the 26th, our 4 o'clock Pacific Coast time, 7 o'clock Eastern time call here in the Eagle's Nest. I want to start off. I always love to remind everyone, because I don't know if we have new people on the call or not. So I love to remind everyone what it is that we are trying to do. Okay, my econ. I want you to raise your right hand and I want you to tap yourself in the chest and say, my economy. My econ is short for my economy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is President Trump's job to fix the U.S. economy. Whether you think so or don't think so, it is his job. Whatever state you live in, it's the governor's job to fix the economy in that state. Whatever city you live in, it's the mayor's job to fix the economy in that city. But in your household, it's not your boss's job. It's not your pastor's job. It's not the president's job. It is your job to fix your economy. So we're going to give you a definition of what we call personal financial success. I'm going to break that down to what I call income for life. Income for life. I use an example here of $75,000 a year. That's $6,250 a month. 95% of the people in America have been taught, trained to become what we call employees. They have been taught, get a job, get a job, get a job. And I'm not telling you anything wrong with that. But they believe that so hard. So when they go to school and they get certain degrees. Well, with those degrees, they have expectations of how much money they're going to make. And very few people who are looking to get a job ever dream about, I'm really going to make a lot more than 6 figures in my life. They never really dream, I'm going to get a job to pay me 7 figures. They dream I'm going to get that elusive 6 figures. So if they were to say, I'm going to be a nurse, they believe they might get the $75,000 at some point. If they were to say, I'm going to be an electrician, they say, I might be able to get the $75,000 some point there. If I'm going to be in IT, they believe I'm going to get to maybe 75 to 100 one day. But ladies and gentlemen, in all of those careers, there are other people who make $1 million+ dollars. We're not saying that you should not have a job. But when you take a job, the job is going to deduct taxes out of your check. They're going to deduct 7.65 across the board for Social Security and Medicare taxes. They're going to deduct for state taxes roughly 6%. They're going to deduct federal income taxes between 10 and 15%. Somebody's unmuted, Damon. I don't know who it is. Okay. So that's going to be a roughly 25 to 30% of your money going to taxes. Now, in this capitalistic society that we live in, this is called your gross, and the 4,700 is called your net. They make all of your bills based on gross. So they make your debt to income ratio based on gross income, not net. Yet you only bring home net. Now they look at your pay stubs when they figure these debts out. They know you only have this. Then if you come over here and get a business, let's say you're in the insurance industry and you sell and you're a 1099 person. Now you make $75,000. They don't want to take gross. They want you to look at your taxes and see how much you had after tax income. And now that's what they finance you on, after tax income. But let me help you with something, ladies and gentlemen. If you look at the economy today, more than 96% of everybody in America who want a job have a job. The big problem in America is not that people don't have jobs. There is something they call underemployment. which is to say, at one point, many people had jobs maybe making 50,000. Today they make 25,000 or 30,000. They call that underemployment. If a person at one point made $100,000 back before the recession of 2007, now they have a job making 40,000. They call that underemployment. So what is supposed to happen? You're supposed to work your job, take care of your family, save 10% of your money in some type of retirement fund, and you're supposed to one day retire and have somewhere in the neighborhood of $750 to as much as $1.5 million in your retirement portfolio. At $1.5 million in your retirement portfolio, you're going at 5% return. That will give you $75,000 a year. See, here's what you have to accept, ladies and gentlemen. When you quit working, something or someone has to provide you an income so you can continue to live. See, retirement does not mean I don't need income. In many cases, retirement means I need more income than I did when I was working. Let's take an example. We all probably know someone in their 70s, perhaps even 80s, who is still trying to work to maintain an income because they need money to help take care of their lifestyle. But let's take Michael Jackson's children, for example. Michael is dead and gone, but his children have never had to work because their father built a $1 billion income producing asset that pays them whether they work or don't work. Let's take Sam Walton. Sam Walton built a store called Walmart. He has 4 children. One is dead. Now that son's grandchildren, the grandchildren of Sam Walton, the children of John Walton, is now heirs to the Walton blessings. All of Sam Walton's children are multi-billionaires, and all of his grandchildren are billionaires because of an income-producing asset called Walmart. So that's what everybody in life should be trying to do. Now, we haven't been taught that, so you hear people make statements like, well, I'm just trying to get mine, man. You know, I'm just trying to get my hustle. I'm just trying to do like you're doing, dog. They don't know no better. That's not what they're trying to do. They don't know that they're supposed to build an asset. The Bible says the definition of a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the righteous. Now you hear many preachers preach on the wealth of the wicked getting transferred to the righteous. But that same scripture, the first part of that scripture says, a good man, the definition of a good man, and I call my grandfather a good man, and I even with the definition, I still say he was a good man. But he left us dead. As far back in the Curry household family as we can look, everybody was broke. My mother's family was Millers. As far back in the Miller family as we can look, everybody was broke. So I don't need to copy their way of doing finances. I need to look at how finances were done somewhere else. So we went somewhere else. In 1986, I graduated college and got introduced to the financial service industry. At that time, I got licensed to sell life, health, insurance, annuities, and then I got investment license to sell mutual funds. A couple of years later, I got licensed to sell stocks and bonds and to become a financial advisor. I studied all of the financial services, I got that, and I was happy with that for a while. I made a lot of money, but then I chose to expand my repertoire. I went into the mortgage industry and I started looking at people's finances from a mortgage perspective and a real estate perspective. So for the last 30 years, I looked at people's finances. I began to understand that people were struggling and needed extra money. So I got involved in the network marketing industry. I got involved in the telecommunication industry. And when the rates was coming down, I got involved with a little company that was doing 10 cents a minute. And when the rates was coming down, boy, I made a truckload of money. I'm talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in sales we made, and we made a percentage of that. I want to give you an example. If you go back and look at this, the telecommunication industry was broken up in 1984. I remember that clearly because I got out of the military with a intention of working in that industry because I worked in the military. 20 years later, now when they broke it up, AT&T had been a monopoly all along. 20 years later, AT&T went out of business, which is to say they sold the corporation, the original corporation got sold to a company called SBC. SBC bought the name AT&T because SBC knew no one knew who SBC was worldwide. So they bought the name AT&T. Now here's what I want to tell you. All the wealth of AT&T, which was the wealthiest company in the world up until 1984, got transferred to other companies. Other companies were born and built wealth in that industry over that since 1984. In that, my partners and I, we got in the telecommunication industry and we siphoned off more than $500 million in changing customers from one company to the next. That's what's called wealth transfer. We made millions of dollars doing that. So here today, what we're talking about is we're talking about income shifting. Now we're talking about attacking the billions and billions of dollars that's being paid in taxes, that's going to the government, and you taking those tax dollars back, wealth transfer, transferring to your house so you can stop this $1,500 from coming out of your check and you can put it into an investment. That's wealth transfer. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, in understanding this, going through all of this system, my partner and I, we came up with a system to teach people how this works. Those of you that have been on here with me for the last 2 days, you've gotten a good look at that. And we're going to work so you understand it all the way. Don't get frustrated if you don't know everything already. It's been 2 days. Give yourself a couple of months. Give yourself some time. Don't quit on yourself so easy. You know that this is different than what you've seen in times past, so give yourself time to learn it. But I'm going to show you something other now that I believe is going to rock your world. Let me go to a different slide now. Okay, so we go here and we go here. So now do you see my website that says the Millionaire Society? Someone say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, now you log in. All I'm doing is logging in. Everybody that's in my econ has this. You have this income shifting membership. I want you to understand that. But I'm going to go first to this debt elimination calculator. You have this too. You have this debt elimination calculator. I'm not going to read all this, but basically what it says is you put your debts in this calculator in any order you want to put them in. Anytime you want to add another debt, just click this line and add another debt. So we have these debts here. Now, they have been arranged. What we do is the calculator arranges the debts and we pay off the smallest debt first. Some debt eliminators will pay off the one with the highest interest first. Minor arguments can be made as to which way is better. But here's what I want you to know. A plan is better than no plan. We're not going to argue over, well, should we do interest versus should we do the smallest debt? Here's why we chose to do the smallest debt. We want to see you have some success early on. See, if I went in here and I had this one because it's got 18%, it's going to take me a lot longer to pay off 6,200 and see some early success than it is 3,700. So I'm not going to debate and argue that point, but this is what we have chosen to do, so you know. Now, I want you to understand, we didn't choose to put any additional money here, Damon. We're talking about debt elimination. But watch what happens if you would just pay off one debt instead of getting new debt, move that money to the next debt, to the next debt, to the next debt. If you added no extra money, you could pay the car off in 17 months. If you took the $250 and added to the next debt, now at $375, 11 months later, total of 28 months, you will have paid off the American Express. Take the $375, add to the $135 at $510, and another 11 months, you would have paid off the Visa. Now we continue this process all the way down, and in 137 months, which is 11 years and 5 months, with no additional income, you can eliminate all of your debt, and the monies that you were paying on your debts was $2,452. Now remember, you have different types of debts. Certain debts can be paid off. Well, all debts can be paid off because they call them debts. Car notes, credit cards, student loans, credit cards, things like that can be paid off. Expenses, recurring expenses cannot. You're going to have a cell phone bill as long as you have one. You're going to have a utility bill. Those are recurring expenses. So these are debts. When someone looks to give you a mortgage, this is called recurring. These are called debt to income ratios. Then things like insurance, those are recurring expenses. Now let's go up here and let's say, Damon, we've found some money. In all of this week, we've been working on finding money. We found $1,000. So let's see what happens if we choose to put the $1,000 on debt. You don't have to put it all there. I'm just showing you how it works, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to add, to accelerate our debt, we're going to put $1,000 we found on debt. All you got to do is hit save and calculate. Now watch what happens. Bam! We're going to come down. The results are right here on the bottom. Now look what happened this time. We went to 7 years and 7 months. God's year of completion is 7 years, folks. Look at this. They had a mortgage inside of this with $186,000 left on it. They completed all of their debts in 91 months. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a powerful, powerful tool as it relates to wealth transfer, as it relates, to income shifting. Remember, we said we found $1,000 through what? All of the tax deductions that we have shown you over the last 2 days. See, this is a continuation class. I'm sorry I can't go all the way back to what I talked about on Wednesday and bring everybody forward because we spent 2 hours on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, and this is our second hour. Actually, we spent about an hour and a half on some of those days. We can't bring all that up forward here today. But David did record yesterday and today, so that's great. So we see that $1,000 will get this out. Now, here's the next thing, though. This debt calculator is tied to your credit repair. Inside of my econ, we do credit repair. And this debt calculator is tied to your debts or your credit repair. Man, we got this thing all synergistically lined up, and it flows and it shows you everything about how to run your life and how to get you straight. Let's go now to the BMC home. I want to show you another tool you have. We're going to go to income shifted membership. This you have, the membership you have. See, here is the debt eliminator calculator. I just went there from the other side. I am going to go to the cash flow. Now, we went through W-4 withholding. We went through record keeping already. Okay, these are just products that you got to use if you want to. Let's go to the cash flow manager. This is the one we talked about yesterday. But now, let me show you another thing that you have here. Under the cash flow manager, you have a cash flow strategist. This is already paid for, guys. You have this. You don't have to pay no more. Your $34 a month covered this. I want you to be clear. Okay, now, if you want to start a new one, you just start a new one, but just click on new and then fill out the information, start a new one. What do I mean when I say click on it? Click on it, then it says, what's your name? So here's your name. And then we click down here. We got the name in there. We start putting stuff in. We get to the bottom and we save it. Bam. Once you save it, all right, now we're moving, okay? Once we save it, we have a cash flow manager under that name. Bam. I just set that up. But what I want to do is I want to go back to return the list. And what I want to go to is I want to go to Big Willie. This is the one that I've done. So Big Willie is the cash flow manager we're going to use. Cash flow strategy, I'm sorry, this is called a cash flow strategy. It says, what are your financial goals? Place a 1 through 5 in the box. So number 1, by now, all of what you've heard, somewhere in the top 5, you ought to say, I want some more money. That's increased income. Somewhere in the top 5, you ought to be convinced that you want to build a retirement income because one day you got to retire and you got to take care of your economy. I don't know why anybody would want to pay taxes. So I'm not saying these have to be your 1, 2, 3. You can rearrange these however you choose. But that's what Big Willie did. I don't know why you wouldn't want to get out of debt. And when I started this with Big Willie, he was 45, he and his wife, and they wanted to retire the wife 10 years later at age 55. So this is a real client I used here in Atlanta. I just changed the name to protect the innocent, as they say in Hollywood. Call him Big Willie. We got a lot of Big Willies around Atlanta. They earn about $6,500 a month together. So the question is, what is the least amount of monthly income you desire at retirement? Monthly income, well, they said, well, maybe $1,000 more we make now. That is $7,500. Now, I've had people put 30, 40,000 there. Well, that's the least you really desire. What's your plan? They don't have one. What year at the least do you plan to retire? Now, you have to do this. Click on here. Watch what happens. Question number 2. When completing question 2, enter the year you desire to retire, i.e., if your goal is to retire in 15 years, add the current year plus 15 years. So 2019, excuse me, plus 15 is 2034. So now we close this box. We got 15 years they're going to retire. So you can't put 15 years. You have to put 2034. How much of your monthly retirement income do you expect to receive from Social Security and company-paid pension plan? It's not what you have in your 401k, 403b, IRAs, or CDs, or in your insurances, or nothing like that. It is what do you expect Social Security. You can go online and look. They sometimes send you little letters. And if you have a pension plan at your job that you don't have to put anything into, if you still have one of those, what do you expect? This company said they expect $2,000. What is the approximate value of your investment portfolio today? Now we're talking about mutual funds, 401ks. We're talking about all of your investments outside of Social Security. They said $34,000. How much money do you currently invest in long-term savings? $200. How much additional money monthly can you invest in long-term savings? $0. How much money do you have set aside for emergencies? 0. I use my credit card. Do you feel you currently have a plan in place to accomplish your retirement goals in your desired time frame? I'm glad they said no. So now we come down, and this is a semi-debt calculator inside of here just to make this flow. You can use the one outside without having to go through the whole thing, but inside of here, just to make it flow, we said, okay, what are your debts? These are the same debts you saw outside, okay? Credit number 1, you will put the name of the creditor, the balance owed, and the minimum you are supposed to pay, not what you pay. So you see card 1, Visa, student loan, mortgage. Card 2, American Express, and furniture. These are all things that could be paid off. By simply adding a row here, you can add as many debts as you like. Then we have recurring expenses. What are things you're currently going to cut back on? Now, if you're not going to cut back on them, I didn't put them here. So eat it out. If you eat out at lunch every day at work, you're going to spend a lot of money. But we know no one is going to stop eating out altogether. So here was a couple that said they spent about $400 eating out. They would agree to cut back eating out at work and go out together a couple times a month. They spent a couple $100. The calculator said that'll save you $200. Cell phone. Depending on how much you travel, you can get a cell phone bill for $100 a person, or you get you one of $30, $40. You decide. They said they're going to do that. That saves them $50-something a month, $59 a month. Now, we come down here, we have auto insurance. Raise your deductibles, go from $275 to $200, save $75. Entertainment, $350 to $200. Cable TV bundle from $189 to $99. Life insurance, $150 to $75. Credit card balances, transfer to 0 balance after you fix your credit, $75 to $50. Mortgages, after you fix your mortgage, after you get your credit fixed, your mortgage can go down from $1,080 to $900. Auto refinance from refinance from $499 to $375. Home warranty, they spent $100, they got one for $75. Over here, you see how much monthly saving that'll be. Now, again, guys, ladies, what are you going to do? Not by this ain't your wish list. This is what you're going to discipline yourself to do. If you're not going to do it, don't say it. Now, then we say and return to list. We go to B, and let's solve the equation. You can see up here, I have 9% return on investment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, look at what we got. We got help buds to help you understand all of what you need if you want a question. So our retirement freedom goal dollar amount is $7,500 a month. We expect from Social Security $2,000. That leaves us $5,500 short per month. At retirement, we're going to need $733,333.33 in an investment at 9% return to give us $5,500 a month. And I'm going to say, because 9 is high in retirement, you might want to make that $1 million, $1.2 million, so you can get 5%. Projected value of the $34,000. If you leave the $34,000 in at 9%, it turns to $130, $493. Subtract $130 from $733, you're $602,000 short. Number 7, your monthly amount of investment you need is $1,593. You're saving $200. You're exactly $1,393 short. Now, what you gonna do about that? Now, here's what I want you to understand. Some of you may decide 9 is too high to get. What is a good rate? So let's say you decide to go to a bank. You decide to go to a bank, they give you 1 to 2%. I'm gonna use 2, but they give you 1. I'm gonna put 2%. All I do is put 2% in and I hit enter. and it'll recalculate. This is a live calculation. So when I hit enter here, it has recalculated. Now went from 733 to 3.3 million. Because I'm only getting 2%, my 34 went to 45,000 instead of 130. I am 3,254,000 short. If you don't believe you can get 9%, do you really believe you can save $15,316? I don't believe a person that don't believe they can get 9% believe they're gonna make enough money to pay their bills and save $15,000 at the bank. Probably not gonna happen. So here's the thing. You're gonna have to talk with Damon and other people in the financial service industry, and they're gonna have to talk to you how to get your rates up, rate of return up. Now, they can do it, guys. I know what they do. I'm very familiar with it. I don't do it myself, but I did that for many years. 9% is not that difficult to get. So I went back to 9 because I want you to see we're gonna work with 9. Now, here's the deal. Damon did not know what I was gonna talk about. I didn't show him this earlier. But he had on this stream when I got in here, what $100, the power of $100 a month or something like that. I'm saying a person make $100 a month in my econ. 100 guys. I know y'all say, I came to get rich, Alvin. I'm gonna get rich, I'm gonna get rich. I agree. Some people gonna make $10,000 a month selling. Some people gonna make $100,000 a month selling. But I don't want to disillusion everybody. All of us are not equal. All of us not gonna do the same amount of work. All of us not gonna make $10,000 a month. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. But if you understand that and we get your expectations right, you can still get to be rich. You can still become a millionaire. Watch. $100 a month. But now you got to do income shifting. This is from the tax savings, $800 on this couple. We spent the last 2 days on this. Then we disciplined ourselves and fixed our credit, and we cut our bills and reoccurring expenses down from $32.17 a month to $22.14, saving us $1,000 a month, $1,003 a month. So now I got $100, $800, and $1,003. Now this is 1903. We tell the computer what to do. It don't tell us. So I have a problem. I want to lose weight, but I love sweets and breads. Every diet that tells me I can't have sweets and breads, I always mess up because I eat too much of it. So in this, if you get $1,900, we know you're going to want some sweets and breads. So take some and go ahead and have you some sweets and bread. Call that personal use, $250. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to build your life, you got to say, I'm going to fight for my life. You got to get an emergency fund. An emergency fund of $250 times 12 months is $3,000. So when emergencies come up, you won't have to fight and go get credit card and keep digging holes. Now, I use the word 401k, IRA here, but if you want to do this in an IUL, here's $500 that's going to go in there. And we leave $903 to apply the debt. We drop $900 on the first debt, and you can see it's out in 4 months. Then we come down here, we take the $1,100 and add this to the $200. We're out in 6 months, and we just keep coming on down, and we out in 97 months. Now this is similar to the calculator on the other page. The other one was a little more accurate because we had the interest rates and everything. You put these same numbers in and you come out a little bit. This is just to give you the idea how it works. The other one was a little bit more accurate. So if someone wanted to be more accurate, they would use the regular standalone debt calculator. But this one is included in here to show you how this works. So in 97 months, we out of debt. I think in the other one, it was a lot less than that. Now we have available the $900 plus the $24.52. We have $33.55 available to do Now let's do some more investing. Again, your bread and your pasta, $200. That's just personal use. If you're going to keep from getting debt, save to buy you some stuff in your house, ladies. Whatever, I put $200 here. Now they got $29.55 that they finna show enough get to invest in every month so they can go on and get this thing done. So they started in 2019 with $34,000. That grew to be plus $200. That grew to be $34,200 right away. But look what happened by 2027 when they got debt free. The $34,000 grew to $70,185. The $200 grew to another $28,000. Add 28 and 70 together, they gave us $98,000. We started investing $500 a month into an investment that grew to $70,000. By 2027, we had $169,000. But I want you to understand something. From 2027, 28, 29, 30, 4, 5, 6, 7 more years. Watch what happened. We went to 2034. That's the year we wanted to be there. If we leave the 34 in the investment, discipline, that's 131. The 200, if you leave it going, is 76. Add 76 and 131, that gives me 207. And my 500 gives me 191. And after I got out of debt, my 29.55, look what it did. It grew to 344. Now I add 344, 190, and 207, and that gives me $743,000. If I wanted that to be $1 million, I can just keep saving for a few more years at this rate, or I could come up here and make adjustments on how much I spend. I could come up here and make adjustments on how much I earn. I can change the dynamics of this. But here's what we want you to do. We want you to do one like this, saying this is my minimum that I want to do. This is what I want to do minimum. Then you can go be more aggressive. Say, man, I like to have $20,000 a month when I retire. Now, what does that take? And what this entire strategy will do is tell you what you need to do. It ain't gonna tell you what Damon need to do. It's not gonna tell you what Alvin need to do. It's going to tell you what you need to do to earn whatever you want to earn at retirement. And ladies and gentlemen, with this tool, you can see where you are today. You can make 2 or 3 of these for your life. And then you can go fight. I call this the GPS of your life. See, because here's the thing. If I wanted to drive to your home today, wherever you live, if you gave me your address, I could put it in my GPS and leave Georgia, and that GPS would bring me straight to your door. It may take 2 or 3 days, depending on how far I got to go, but I would get there. With this, if you put the information in this system, this is the GPS to your life. Now, when you follow this GPS, it's going to show you where you are trying to go. You're going to get there, baby. You're going to get there. I want to show you one other quick tool, and then I'm going to let you ask me some questions so we can wrap this thing up strong here tonight. This is called the cash flow strategist. The cash flow manager is what we did last night, which allows you to track your business expense, your personal expense. It allows you to do an income statement and balance sheet. The cash flow strategist is your GPS that plans where you want to go. Now over here under tools, we have something called financial calculators. These financial calculators, they are just off the chain awesome in my opinion. I won't go through all of them, but I will go through some. Let's say that you have a child or a grandchild that you wish to send to college or you wish to give them an inheritance when they reach a certain age. Wealthy people do this all the time. They set aside money for their children when they're born. So we're going to do it on a monthly basis. You can do it in a lump sum if you wish. These calculators do the same thing. One just do a lump sum. So if you set aside $10,000, what would that be if you were trying to reach the desired amount of money you're trying to reach? Okay, so I'm trying to reach $100,000, let's say. Watch what happens here. I want to give them $100,000. Well, that's $1 million. All right. 1, 2, 3, 100,000. Okay. Now, interest rate, 9%, years. So let's say you want to give your child, as a college graduation gift, $100,000 to start off in life. So you give them 9%. You put this money there when you started, when they were born. So let's say we're going to give that to them at age 25. Oh, I did something wrong here. All right, tab down at age 25. So now look what I did. I got $100,000, 9%, 25 years. Let's calculate. You would need to set aside today $10,000. Write that number down. You would need to set aside today, in order to do this for your grandchild or child, you would need to set aside $10,628. I ain't gonna worry about the 80 cents. That's what you need to set aside if you did it at a one-time lump sum investment. But watch what happened. Let's go back to the calculator. If you wanted to do an investment on a monthly basis, you didn't have the $10,000, but you still wanted to do it. You said, I still want to do it, Alvin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's $100,000. Tab, 9%. Tab, 25 years. Now, this is what's going to happen if you do it on a monthly basis. You have to set aside $89.20 on a monthly basis. Let's take a calculator. Let's look at something. I want to show you something. How much difference this is. I got $89.20 a month, 89.20 times 12 months. That is $1,000 a year, $1,070.40 a year. I'm going to do this for 25 years. That's $26,000. So now it's going to cost me $26,000 because I didn't have the money to start at first. One lump sum. One lump sum was less than half of that. So you start getting a vision of how to handle your finances. You start getting a vision of what you're fighting for. See, you can't let your money go to somebody else and they build their children wealth. When you go give all your money to the car dealership, remember the car dealership building wealth for their family. When you give all your money to the clothing store is building wealth for their family. When you do this, you can't blame nobody else if you don't have no money. This is what a monthly periodic investment would look like. This is what a loan on your mortgage would look like. And then one-time lump sum investment. What would that be worth at a certain time? If you invested $100,000 for your child now, how much would that be worth in 25 years? These are financial calculators. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these tools you have on this cash flow manager. I need you to think about this for a moment. Every person you know that runs any kind of small sales type business, wouldn't they need this tool to work and operate and understand where they're going? See, we're talking about the GPS of your life. and where you're going to go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to share with you this 3 days, the income shifting portion of the MyEcon business. Damon can arrange at some time with me to do the commission side, and we'll work on a date to get that done. We can announce it, and we'll do a date on commission, and we'll talk about how to build $1 million income in MyEcon. But I want you to understand this week has been about income shifting. You do not have to be a great salesperson to do income shifting. You do, however, have to make an effort to earn a profit and work at your business with some discipline and diligently. We're not talking to you about lying to the IRS. We're not talking to you about trying to play any games. We simply want you to know that we want you to win in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, the cash flow strategist, the debt eliminator, and the financial calculators are here to assist you with your cash flow manager, and all of these things combined together. You've already paid for this. If you were going to go out and get this, I talked to Anthony about this a month or so ago. Anthony tells me to get what I just showed you from financial planners. That's $500 to $1,500 information. We give it to you as a part and parcel of everything here, folks. Man, there's so much value packed in this. Don't you dare beg anyone who don't see value and they don't want to pay it. Don't beg them. We ain't begging folks. We want folks that want to change their lives, and we want to help them. God bless you all tonight. Thank you for being with me this week. Thank you for allowing me to pour into your life this week. Now, I want to take time before we get off to answer questions. If Damon want to keep recording, it's up to him. If not, we can just answer questions over the next few minutes so that we can summarize what you've gone through this week with me on the call. Please tell me your name, where you're calling from, and what's your question. And once you do, please remute. So if anything is going on in your home, we won't pick up the background noise. So let's talk if you have a question for me.
Okay, if you have any questions, you can unmute your phone by doing *6. *6 that'll unmute your phone.
Alvin?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Jeff in Los Angeles. This is a little off topic. You haven't talked about the credit repair, which is a big hot button with a lot of people. Are you going to be talking about that as well?
Well, not in this session here. We can do one, but we just ran out of time on this time, Jeff. But I can tell you what you can do. We have a great video out there on it, and you can go take a look at that. But in this session, we just ran out of time. It's just so many things to do. But in your back office, under that, you can still see my website, right?
Yeah.
Let me show you. Under this credit repair here, this will take you to where you can find the credit repair videos at here.
Okay.
These are all videos and stuff you can see right here, okay?
Okay.
These are the links and everything here to the credit repair, talking points and everything. And so I want to ask you all, because again, we just ran out of time, to self-study that portion, okay?
Yeah.
Next time, perhaps when we do it, we may spend more time there, but just ran out of time this time.
Okay. And one more question is, what if you talk to someone like myself? I mean, this is embarrassing. You just laid it out so clearly how simple it is. someone like myself that did not do all these simple things that you outlined that could have been done to put yourself in a good situation, and they're later, you know, in their 40s, 50s, what have you, and they don't have that 20-year time frame. What do you say to what's the approach with people for that?
Okay. Well, I would say this because we have that happen every day to us. Okay, we have that happen every day. I would say, okay, let's do this strategist, and let's figure out what can we do. Let me give you an example. Let's take a person that may be in their 60s and approaching retirement fairly soon. Well, one thing that would be helpful for them is if they could go in retirement with no debt. Then if they, because remember what happens to most people, they go in retirement, their income go way down. Even if they work on a job that has a retirement plan, the plan is designed to get them about 40% of their working income. Well, if you can't go into retirement with 100% debts and think 40% is going to sustain you. So I would say one thing for a person that was in their late 50s, early 60s, looking to retire sometime in the next 7 to 10 years, is fight to get out of debt and save as much as you can, because you may not be able to get to the $1 million in a 7 to 10 year period. Or the other side of that now, just so we can be clear, when we talk income, this is a super highway of income. You can talk about, I'm talking making up income quick. So it could be possible that that person that's 65 years old could go introduce this to one of their grandchildren, and one of their grandchildren love this business so much that they could go out and make granddad or grandmama $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month in 90 to 120 days, and that'll be a residual income for them for the rest of their life. That's possible too. We just didn't talk about that side, but when we talk about commission, we will cover that side, okay?
Yep. Thank you.
Great questions, though. Great question. I love questions, guys. I love questions. So please feel free to ask the question. And I don't mean Damon in any disrespect, but since I did the presentation, it's better to ask me the question than it is Damon, because I said it. And I'm offering you the opportunity to help me clear up whatever I maybe did not clear up for you this week. Any of the stuff we talked about this week, go ahead and ask me a question and we'll answer it right quick. We'll stay on a few extra minutes to answer questions.
You guys, this is a multi-millionaire maker asking you to ask a question. People pay him thousands of dollars an hour to answer their questions. Think of a question. It's important.
I got a question, Damon.
Sure.
And this partially applies to you too, Damon. Alvin, you kind of glided over how easy it was, and I know it's true because I know Damon, how expenses could be reduced. You know, this, that, and the other, reduce the auto insurance down to this, refinance that, getting 9%. So you said talk to a professional, you know, to see how that can be done. So yes. How does that end? How would that go?
Well, what we do is we partner with a lot of people. And one of the things that made it so good to partner with Damon is this. And what I don't do is I don't really try to stay out of get in their lane. I want to have you talk to them about insurance type things, and they can help you with how to cut your rates and do different things like that. They can really help you do those things. Pretty simple. A lot of these things are just correcting your credit will help you do a lot of these things because of, even when you think about car insurance rates now based on your credit. Well, if you get good credit, then you can go out and reshop your car insurance and find cheaper insurance. You know, if you're going to deal with life insurance and stuff and investments, you want to talk with Damon and them, you know, and things like that. But a lot of lanes like that, I want to leave that to these guys, because one of the advantages to being in my econ for a guy like Damon, for example, again, maybe other people I just don't know, is because we don't compete with them, they're going to meet tons of clients who is not in their downline that want these financial products. And so when we have a big meeting in California, Damon is going to pass out lots of cards and tell them I'm in the financial service industry. Anthony's going to pass out cards and tell them we're in the financial service industry, and they're going to get extra clients because the people are being taught just like this to seek out the financial professionals because we don't do it here at MyEcon.
Have you told Damon about this? There might be some additional money-making opportunities, Damon. Have you thought about that?
He's keenly aware. He's keenly aware. I don't know what happened, but he may step away from the phone, but he's keenly aware of that. I can assure you of that. Yes, sir. All right. Anyone else got a question? It is not my intent to hold you on the phone just to have you on here. I love answering your question, taking the time, but if you don't have any questions, then it's been a long week, I'm sure, for Damon and Ashley, and they have children and all kinds of stuff, and it's Friday night. So last opportunity, if you want to ask a question.
Alvin, that was a brilliantly genius, simple explanation of how to run a life in a very simple, direct way. I wish I'd have known this 20 years ago.
Well, let me say this to you, Jeff. Let's make sure everyone in your family don't have the same excuse. Now, we can't make sure they do it, but we have to make sure we introduce them to the information. So now they can't say, I didn't know. They can say, I didn't choose to do. Make sense?
Amen.
So that's important, because I tell people all the time, I chose to believe 30 years ago. A lot of my family members did not. Now we all 60-something, and they all wish they had. See, because when I was 30-something, they told me I was just crazy. You just did that because you can't get no good job. Okay, I did it. I want to get rich. And they said, you ain't going to get rich. You better go get your job. They talked and they talked and they talked. But now all of them are glad that I did, because we have to take care of my mother in her retirement years. And my wife and I have to write that check every month to take care of my mother. When my father was living, we had to take care of him. Yeah. So all of them glad we got rich now, because it takes a lot of money to take care of the elderly. We hire professional help to come in and take care of her on a daily basis. That's expensive.
Yes. Yeah.
Very expensive. And a person has to think about what is going to be my state in life when I get there. All right, Mr. Damon, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Well, I don't think we have any more questions. I'm going to say this to you, sir, and I'm going to appreciate you very much. I don't know if Miss Ashley is listening or not, but I want to thank you all for just setting up this Eagle's Nest, man. I want to thank you all for just being willingness to pour into people's lives and bless people, and, man, to stir it up like you're doing, man. I'm telling you, this is awesome.
Alvin, you've done great. This is Mel Goday. You and I spoke earlier today. Oh yeah, and if I get down to Atlanta, I'll touch base with you.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, Damon, I'm going to turn it back over to you, sir. You can close us out.
You got it, sir. Thank you very much, you guys. Thank you, man. It meant a lot. It meant a lot that Mr. Curry came in with us for 6 days and got down with us, guys. Thank you very much. I hope everybody got much out of it as I did. Absolutely, man. Thank you, sir, and God bless. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. I'm signing off. Y'all have a great one.
Thank you, Alvin.
Okay,
God bless.
Now. God bless. Okay, guys. This is the guys and gals. This is the end of the week. We hit 5 o'clock. Is there anything that we need to talk about before we close out? We are working over the weekend. Not doing the room, but I'm definitely open to take calls and work and get some things going. I already have some appointments set with some of you. So, is there anything that anybody like to talk or ask or contribute or anything? Give any kind of feedback before we sign off for the evening?
Yeah, hey Damon, this is Thelma in Dallas. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Just the fact to get a CEO on board and just give his input and take his time. That was phenomenal. Most people don't have that access. So we thank you for putting that together. And then also, I know you've been busy, but I requested yesterday, I need to get my board set up with Trello with through you. So I'm going to shoot my email on here again. I mean, just your whole team, Hula, Sunshine, you, Dara. I've talked to everybody. Everybody's really awesome. So thank you for what you put together. But I'm going to shoot that, and I just need to get that board going here. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna get that board out to everybody over the weekend, and we're gonna get real organized this weekend because we're not going 10 hours every day. I'm gonna be able to get a lot of house cleaning stuff done and get us real organized and everything in one place. And we're gonna have, come Monday, we're gonna have some more. We're gonna have a lot of structure because we've had a lot of growth lately. We've actually been doing this, the Eagle's Nest, for I think it's going on. I think it's been about 10 days, 11 days, somewhere in there. But we've had tremendous growth. I mean, hundreds of people joining the organization. And so it's just going to multiply. So you guys are a part of something real big. And all this growth is going to happen in your passive income. Okay? So we're trying to help people build up, and we're supporting people and closing for people and things of that nature. So just keep nudging around, keep getting it. I guarantee everybody that sticks with this is going to be financially secure because we're working for the next, at least my wife and I, we're working for at least the next 3 years, 9 months, and 6 days. So we're grinding. And when we go to work, we get paid. We don't play. So that means you guys are going to get paid, and we're going to make this thing happen. So I'm going to be sending out a lot of information over the weekend to people. We're going to get going. And, man, let's pursue our dreams. Chase. It's not let's not just run them down. Let's chase them down and beat them into submission. All right. So we got that. Is there anything else that anybody like to cover, talk about before we sign off for the day? Anybody that needs
Gary
support?
in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Hey, Gary.
I was wondering, hi, as far as sending out emails this weekend, will one of those emails contain the login information for the insurance side room?
Yeah. Let me give you my information right now. I'm gonna get you plugged in right now. Let me give you my phone number. You got my phone number?
No, I actually don't.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and text me if you don't mind right now. Because Gary in Las Vegas needs that information, and I'll call you back and get you set up with that. It's 619-886-9968. Also, we discovered and we solved a problem that we have. Thelma, this is a problem. This is a problem with you. There's a couple other people that have the same situation as you while we are waiting for people to get signed off. So what you can do is still get trained on the insurance, but you can partner with somebody that's already been approved and doing business with us. Right now, we have 2 people that don't mind being anybody's sponsor, and that's Eric and Pete. So I can get you in touch with them, and because you're a licensed insurance agent, they can pay you. They can pay you. You can pay another licensed insurance agent even if they don't write the business. You guys have different ways you can do referrals because you're licensed. So what you do is that you can sell it, and then you can work out a deal with them for them to house it. Now, from the beginning, I recommend that if people do that they don't try to figure out the residual and all that, where when you give somebody a deal, you let them enjoy the residual and the life of that deal, and it's that person's client, after they write. Okay?
Right.
And then you also want to be in integrity to where if the deal goes bad and money has to be returned or whatever deal, you return your proper portion. Let you guys figure that out. Don't want to get in the way of it. But so right now I have Pete and Eric who are willing to write business because they're already coded, situated, and set up for anybody that wants to do it. So nobody has to be slowed down. You just have to work out an agreement on how you guys are going to split the money.
Okay.
Until you get set up with your own situation. Those are those that have problems. There's some people that have problems. We got to get them, different background checks are taking time and stuff like that. So that way you can get going right away. Okay?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. If you don't mind, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm going to send. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to put together a nice email, send it to everybody that's on the board, on the big board. If you haven't got an email from me to get on the big board, okay, I'm actually going to call that form getting on the big board so people know what I'm talking about. Please text me right now your email so I can send you that email so I can get you on the big board so that way I can get you in the communication flow of what's going on and get you guys set up so we can properly communicate and we can effectively get things moving very fast, okay? Okay, is there anything else that anybody like to talk about, discuss before we close out for the evening? Okay, there are a lot of people got emails today that their cash flow increased, and I just want to say congratulations. It's a good thing. And then next Thursday, next Friday, other people will be getting those wires sent to them. And every week we get paid here, and in the insurance world, you get paid 9 times a month. So 9 plus 4, 4 with my econ, 9 with WFG. That's a total of 13 checks hitting your account if you have a license. If you don't, you have at least 4. That's a good thing. Okay? All right, y'all have a great one. God bless. And if there's anything else that I can do for you, just make sure you give me a text. Give me a text, and I'll be sure to get with you. Good day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Damon.
All right. Okay, guys. Bye.